first thing that stood out for me was a statement by Ken Klein that people were not listening to Josephus. Josephus, critical historical witness, someone that I read and research almost every day of my life. Josephus is descended from priests and kings on both sides of his family tree and is our best eyewitness to the first century. The times of Yeshua, or Jesus of Nazareth, the times of the Apostle Paul in the New Testament. And so when I realized that the current temple models were not listening to Josephus, I needed to listen again.
Okay, the reason maybe that was not a good place to put a bell, our bell there, but the reason I rang the bell was because he says that Josephus is our best witness to the first century. I don't think I would agree with that. I think our best witness to the first century is the apostolic scriptures. Right?
Yep.
It sounds
That's
like
right.
it sounds like you're in the middle of a paper over there. What's going on? I mean, do you agree with me, or you think that? What do you think about his statement? Do you think that
I like that he's putting an emphasis on paying attention to Josephus.
But okay, let me ask
the-
you this, because
but the relative.
you know Josephus a lot better than I do. Okay, this much I know. I know that Josephus has some historical errors that we know are historical errors, right?
Yeah, well, what is Josephus trying to do? I mean, he's got his own agenda, right? He's living in Rome. He's kind of a turncoat.
He's not kind of a turncoat. He is a turncoat.
I mean, I'm just thinking he's writing from. He's been kind of given a luxe life in Roman high society, and he tells stories of the Bible in ways that would be appealing to Roman ears.
I'm not saying that we need
And
to.
so he's telling a story for a purpose. And when he describes he is an important witness. I agree with Roth on that.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
he's certainly not a witness to the days of Yeshua. I mean, there's at least a generation there in between.
But my point is, okay, can we just take it? There's a reason that Josephus' writings are not in our canon.
They're not in rabbinic canon either.
Yeah, but why?
I mean, it was early Christians that preserved Josephus.
It seems to me like, it's kind of almost like rabbinical writings. Yeah, it's something that we need to take into account. It's something that we need to look at. It definitely tells us something about the time that he lived in. There's no doubt about that. But my question is can Josephus be trusted 100%? And so this is an article that I pulled, and this guy talks about Josephus here. This is called a response. Actually, Adam Smith sent this to me. It's called A Response to Dr. Ernest L. Martin by, who was this?
Rittmeyer.
Yeah, Dr. Lean Rittmeyer. Okay.
Rittmeyer.
He says this about Josephus, and he's not talking about Roth here by any stretch of the imagination. He's talking about Dr. Martin, and that's who Roth is talking about as well. So Rittmeyer says this: the same careless treatment is applied to the writings of Josephus. Josephus does refer to a temple mount, which once was a square having sides of one stadium each. Martin's quotes are from Antiquities 896 and 15398. 400, and refer to the precinct built by Solomon. However, in War 5, 184 and 185, Josephus writes, quote, in course of ages, however, through the constant additions of the people to the embankment, the hilltop by this process of leveling. Okay, so anyway, what Rittmeyer is saying here is this is to a different objection. He says, this point is ignored by Martin. The Mishnah also states the temple. Okay, did I...
I'm on the website you're on. I'm just kind of scrolling here.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so he says later on, and he's talking about, actually, I have another quote too. He says, the archaeology evidence also negates such possibilities. No, I don't want to go to that. Anyway, so basically he talks about... What he's talking about here is Josephus and how Martin basically doesn't take into account all of Josephus. He only takes into account a little bit of Josephus. So Josephus clarifies. Josephus seems to only be giving a rough estimate. I didn't pull this whole thing. Anyway, the point is that Rittmeyer seems to take exception to Martin's looking at Josephus. And I'm not saying one way or the other. All I'm saying is that it seems like there's dispute over what exactly all of the evidence that Josephus was bringing to light.